In recent years, the African fashion industry has grown in leaps and bounds, with Nigeria being one of the countries leading the pack. African outfits have become a regular on runways and in fashion showrooms across the world. In an exclusive interview with Adenike Ogunlesi, founder and creative director of Ruff and Tumble, one of the firmest children's clothing line in Africa, New Central's Bernard Akide discussed the challenges and gains of Africa's money-spinning fashion industry.
A room like where we're in, for example, how many people are wearing products that are locally made? How many people were wearing Ankara? How many people were wearing, things that you can easily identify that were locally made? There has been a huge growth in the number of people who are coming out to manufacture and to try and create Nigerian fashion brands. And this is really very welcomed because one of the easiest ways to create jobs in any economy is the garment industry. So Nigeria's potential is huge, it's massive. And despite all the odds that we face, the particular challenge of the unavailability of the kinds of material in the quantities that we needed to be able to produce at scale, mass. Nigerians are still investing in this industry and forging ahead. We're now hoping that a legislative framework and infrastructure will be put in place that supports the growth of this very versatile industry. Because when you look at your shirt, for example, if you say that there are 1 million of those shirts being worn between Lagos, Ibadan, and let's say the Western region, yeah, and each shirt uses like 15 buttons multiplied by a million shirts, that's enough reason for somebody to invest in a button making factory, yeah. It's enough reason for somebody to invest in a thread making factory. It's enough reason for somebody to invest in the fusing industry, the packaging industry. Now look at all the benefits along that entire value chain, yeah? That's jobs being created along the line. Then where it ends up, the end of the value chain, which is in retail, that's another set of jobs that are created, yeah? I would like to see, not TM Lewin, but I would like to see Nigerian branded shirts being sold all across Nigeria and made in Nigeria, but we need to get the right fabric.
Now, moving forward, you're talking about how several businesses have evolved over time, and one of the evolutionary factors, if I may put it, was the COVID-19 pandemic. Largely, we still are struggling and surviving through that pandemic. What lessons would you say the Nigerian, and by Nigeria, I'm also speaking about African fashion industry has learned from the effects of the COVID pandemic, and going forward, what can we do differently, God forbid, should we be hit with something like that?
So we learned, I think, something very positive for me that happened was that he showed the potential of an industry that everybody thought was just about cutting and sewing, where we were able to produce masks and we were able to produce them locally using the fabrics that were locally available, and we were able to distribute them all across Nigeria. So it showed potential. It showed possibility. It shows that if we invest in the right things in this industry, we can get extremely positive outcomes as well as creating millions of jobs. Yeah? Now, it showed also that we must not rely on China for everything that we need. The entire global supply chain was disrupted by COVID because most things were coming from China. Africa, Nigeria in particular, is 2 weeks by boat from Europe and America. Maximum 3 weeks. What are we doing? What policies, what initiatives are we putting in place for us to be able to leverage West Africa, Nigeria, as a garment manufacturing hub, instead of them going all the way across to Asia? What can we do to max this potential and this opportunity to be able to serve European and American markets with garments that are produced in West Africa and getting to them like that? I shared the experience of Bangladesh earning $43 million US from ready-made garments that are being sold in these high streets and websites of Amazon and big European and American brands. Why can Nigeria? It's about positioning. It's about investing in the education system that will serve that industry. It's about investing in technical schools that are training people for that industry. It's about investing, making finance available at interest rates that make us globally competitive. If you're paying 18% and somebody is getting money at 0%, you're dead on arrival. You're dead on arrival. So for me, there's huge potential in the garment industry. We cannot do it alone. We must partner with government. We must partner with legislation and create a framework that helps us unleash this potential that is brewing. So many people, despite the challenges, people are making clothes, but it's still very cottage. We want to have factories that have 450 machines, 1,000 machines, 2,000 machines, producing garments for big retail chains abroad. Earning foreign exchange, it has the potential to do that. Bangladesh earned $43 million from ready-made garments. These opportunities are real, but there must be the political will. There must be the desire to want to make this happen, and we can make it happen. We can.
Now moving forward, we are seeing the digital revolution as a fourth revolution now, and of course it's eating its way into every industry. Whoever is not using it is going to be left behind, clearly. What is the place of the digital revolution, in the fashion industry? Particularly, I'm looking at social media. How is it being used? How do you think it should be used to aid the fashion industry in Nigeria and Africa?
So I think the young people are doing a very good job of showcasing what they're capable of doing through social media. Social media is both a very powerful and useful tool and a dangerous tool. So let's focus on what's positive about it, because the entire world is being digitized, is going digital, and it's a digital economy as well as an experiential economy. That's where we find ourselves today. So for me, what it allows us to do is allows us to reach as many people as possible. It builds efficiencies. Digitization helps you be better, again, efficiencies at what you're doing. And when a business is able to be more efficient, it becomes more competitive. It helps you manage your costs. For us, digitization for us is about data and the insights from the data and how they drive the business. How do we get to this customer, what this customer wants, as opposed to a generic email that we send to 25,000 people? How do we personalize the service? Is digitization that allows us to do that. Now, on social media, what I would like to see is more honesty. This business of fake it till you make it, don't fake it on somebody else's money. You know, if you make a promise to deliver and a product at a certain quality, deliver that product at that certain quality. Otherwise, what will happen is what happened. Nigeria got banned out of Etsy. So Nigerian garment manufacturers and designers who want to sell on Etsy, which has about between 3 and 5 million viewers, can't sell on Etsy because somebody ordered and the fulfillment was poor. They overpromised and under-delivered. You know, so there needs to be sincerity. There needs to be truth. It's not a place where you want to cheat people, because once you do that, you give the entire country a bad reputation. The entire country, because everything you do is a reflection of who you are and where you're from. So it's important that when you step out, understand you're representing Team Nigeria, you know, on a huge global map. So put your best foot forward, hold yourself to a higher standard, make it better, improve, be the best version of yourself, and use social media as a tool to showcase what we're capable of as Nigerians, the potential that we have in Nigeria. I think it's an awesome tool.
Yeah. Now, as a brand that has lasted over 2 decades, more than 20 years in the country, we know that definitely you've gone through changes, you know, formations and reformations. Now, we're looking at this question on both sides. What policies would you say, government policies, would you say have been able to make your kind of business, I'm looking at entrepreneurship, but from your own business angle, what kind of government policies would you say have been able to aid the success of your business to last over 20 years? And what kind of policies would you say you feel should be done away with to make entrepreneurship even better?
Okay, so good question. Entrepreneurship is a peculiar and fascinating experience because entrepreneurs are change agents. Entrepreneurs are dynamic, they're risk takers, they're solution providers. Entrepreneurs are inventors. Entrepreneurs will take something old and repurpose it so it becomes relevant to a whole new generation of people, and they make a huge success out of it. So if you understand the importance of them entrepreneurs as change agents, as solution providers, then you need to create a legislative framework as well as a financial framework that supports entrepreneurs to dare to dream. Yeah? Because in that dream, jobs are created. Yeah? Wealth is created. Yeah? These things are what keeps the economy of the country moving and growing. Yeah? So, entrepreneurs will shape culture. They will shape society by the things that they design and birth and the solutions that they provide. So, what do we want Nigeria to look like in 20 years? Who are the entrepreneurs in the medical space? Who are the entrepreneurs in the industrial space? Who are the entrepreneurs in the social space? Who are the entrepreneurs? And how are you creating an alignment between the education system and the future of the entrepreneurs, so that there's an alignment between the talent that is needed to grow those industries to be competitive on a global level and the education system. Yeah? So there is a pool of talent that you can pull from that has the skill, and because they've gone through a rigorous education system, they can show up with talent, they can show up with capacity, they can show up with competence and good character.
You pretty much have jumped into my next question, which was going to be the fusion of formal education and fashion design and fashion industry, basically. But still to piggyback on that question and add this one to it, what is the formal education system lacking now that should be in place for people to thrive when it comes to not just entrepreneurship now, fashion industry per se? Because largely, you go to every bus stop, you see Adenike tour, something which, without trying to downplay the services of these people who run such places, but then there should be some infusion of formal education to make certain industries entrepreneurship thrive. What are we missing?
So I want to first of all salute everybody and all the efforts that they make despite the odds. The struggles of finding talent, the struggles of finding good quality fabric, the struggles of identifying your customers, the struggles of the costs of branding and even running your business, power and infrastructural costs. Let me first of all salute them. Yeah. So now, let us repurpose the industry. Let us look at what is the best practice. There needs to be an alignment between the technical schools and the industry. If we want to take full advantage of the ready-made garments industry opportunity in the world, then we need to have technical institutions, not a 2-month program. My daughter is a fashion and textile designer. It's a 4-year degree program in a school called Central St. Martin's in England. It's one of the best schools in the world. It's a 4-year degree program because they will teach you, they will critique you, and they will discipline you. So discipline, not punish you. Discipline you in terms of your focus, yeah? To know what it is you want and what is your message to the world. I think we need to still go back to the drawing board. What schools exist and how can we repurpose them and bring them up to date to the 21st century? How can we infuse capital into them, upgrade them, so that there is a standardization of standards and an operational excellence that cuts across board, that you know that if you go to this school, this is the quality of work that you will produce. If you go to Parsons in New York or Fashion Institute of Technology, this is the quality of work you will produce. And what are all the feeder industries? What is the talent that is required? How can we build all of those two around the technical education? Or it's a university program, but it's not an academic program. It's a mixture of art and science. It's how do you disrupt the world and create something new out of something that is old? Yeah? How do you repurpose things and recreate them. Because in doing that, you are birthing jobs, you are creating wealth in the society and in the economy. Yeah? So we must go back to education. We must define what it is we want to do, create a national framework. National framework. Where is the cotton from? How will it get to the mills? Where are the mills from? What kind of cotton do we need? What kind of cotton do we want to grow? The cotton it benefits those who are selling it on the international market as opposed to those who are selling it on the local market. Of course, there's a misalignment and there's a disconnect. Yeah? So the entire value chain suffers because of that one thing.
Thank you very much, man. I think it's a fantastic place to end this.